One congressman who will now most likely be able to vote tonight on the deal worked out between the president and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is Dr. Ami Bera of Elk Grove, who joins me now live. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on. It's afternoon, actually, now.
Oh, okay, this afternoon. So we only have you for a few minutes before you have to get to the floor to vote. Congressman, this deal claws back some unspent COVID-19 funds, calls for student loan borrowers to once again start paying on their loans, and cuts funding grants to the IRS that were part of the president's Inflation Reduction Act. Will this be a hold your nose and vote yes kind of situation for you to keep the country from default? Or do you actually like some of what's in this bill? And if so, what?
You know, I think it's important for us to make sure we don't default on our debt. You know, we expect everyone to pay their debts, and the United States of America certainly should pay its debts. That said, there are things that I'm not particularly thrilled with. Obviously, I want a strong public health system. You know, I do want to make sure we address the cost of tuition for students and so forth. But compromise is when you negotiate, you meet in the middle, and you get stuff done. And again, I think this was a good faith negotiation between the president and the Speaker of the House. And no, not everyone got everything they wanted, but it is compromise, and let's move forward. And then we can, when we do the budget this year, we should actually talk about how we address the debt and the deficit. And that's the real place where you really should have these budget negotiations.
Alrighty, now we are right up against the wire here when it comes to a possible default. What's the mood in Washington? Does it feel like controlled chaos, or has a sense of desperation been seeping in? I mean, we've never not paid our bills as a country.
No, I think we'll get this vote done. I think, you know, you kind of had to go through this kabuki dance to get here. The negotiations deadlines have a way of getting Congress to act, unfortunately. But I think we'll vote. You'll see a vote at 3:30 Eastern time. So just in a little over an hour, and then you'll see a final vote tonight at 8:30 Eastern time, 8:30, 9 o'clock. That should have, you know, I'm going to guess 100 Democrats and maybe 150 Republicans, but it'll be a bipartisan vote to then kick it over to the Senate.
Even though you're on opposite sides of the political aisle, Speaker McCarthy is a fellow Californian, and at least one member of the conservative House Freedom Caucus, Representative Chip Roy, has said that pushing this deal may cost McCarthy his speakership. That Texas Republican saying that what McCarthy has agreed to here is a, quote, betrayal of the power sharing agreement that they put into place to finally get McCarthy elected in that 15 rounds of speaker voting. Now there's a reinstalled rule on the procedure for ousting a sitting speaker. Just one member can force a recall at any time for any reason. Are you worried at all that McCarthy could change his debt position to shore up his speaker position?
You know, I think this is a deal that Speaker McCarthy has come out and is urging his conference of Republicans to vote for. So he certainly, I expect, will vote for this deal. You know, I can't determine what the far right folks are going to do. Yeah, I think it would be chaos if they tried to oust Speaker McCarthy, because I'm not sure what other Republican out there could get the requisite votes to become Speaker of the House. Certainly, if they want Hakeem Jeffries to be Speaker, I'm happy to vote on that. I did 15 times previously. But again, I think Kevin McCarthy will be safe after this vote.
Alrighty. Representative Roy says the deal on the table would actually add $4 trillion to America's debt. What's your assessment about what's going to happen to our financial situation with this, aside from just staving off default?
Look, as father of a daughter, I think we all should be concerned about the debt that our children and grandchildren may inherit. That requires us to actually negotiate in good faith. That requires a compromise where you are going to raise revenue, but also where we're willing as Democrats to cut expenses. And that's what any family would do. Again, I am in favor of putting together a commission that is not members of Congress, but actually outside experts, conservatives, more liberal members, to come together and folks to make recommendations. That's what the Simpson Bowles Commission did. It wasn't going to be an easy vote for anyone, but it's almost a Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid moment where Democrats and Republican members just have to jump off the cliff together so we can make sure we've got a solid financial foundation for this country going forward.
I know you're talking about having an outside assessment, but does that $4 trillion that Representative Roy is talking about, does that sound right to you, or that sounds way off?
That sounds like a bigger number than I expect, because I think Next year, you'll see about $68 billion in savings. And I think the following year, you'll see a little over $100 billion in savings. So I think we will, again, have an opportunity to negotiate how we get on sounder financial footing as we go through the budget process.
Alrighty. Social Security recipients like my mom, service members protecting us in all branches of the military might have their pay delayed or disrupted if a debt deal is not reached in time. I think a lot of Americans are wondering why pay for those like yourself in Congress isn't first on the chopping block in situations like this. Some think that would provide greater incentive for lawmakers to do their jobs, work together quickly, and address these issues sincerely before the 11th hour.
Well, so I will go on the record right now. If we don't get the debt ceiling raised, I'll forego my salary before any Social Security member or veteran has to forego theirs. So let's get this debt deal done. I ran on no budget, no pay. Obviously, this is a little bit different than the budget, but let's get this done so we don't have to have veterans that are having to put off necessary care or Social Security recipients not getting their Social Security check.
All righty. Thank you so much for your time. We will be monitoring those votes that you mentioned to happen in just about an hour and then later on this evening. And of course, we'll have you back to talk about it in the future.
Great. Thank you. Be well.
We appreciate your insight.